Sup everyone, I'm your female otaku, and I'm here to review episode 5 of God Eater. And with God Eater, it defied all laws of realism when it comes to the human body. Let me explain. Now, I know that God Eater is a fantasy and a dystopian, post-apocalyptic future, but humans remain the same. Lenka should be dead. Okay? There's no possible way that guy could still be alive and move. There's no way he could have got up and walked, okay? You saw that Aragami, or what they call him instead. They call him like a Vajay, something like that. You know, the Aragami, that giant Aragami that got its claws down and stabbed him in the back, okay? That went right through his spinal cord. Obvious that went through his spinal cord, okay? There is no way Lenka could have got up and walked, okay? Or moved. That dude should be paralyzed, alright? That most likely could have even, like, hit a brain nerve or something like that because, you know, spinal cord's, like, connected to all that and everything. So, yep, science. Alright, this... For God Eater to have a long scene with scientists at the end and just completely forget science altogether throughout the rest of the episode is ridiculous, alright? I'm just, really annoyed and bothered with that. I cannot tell you how annoyed I was. Okay, throughout the majority of the episode, I was just thinking of like a bunch of flaws with God Eater and things like that. But then, when I saw Lenka get stabbed, and for some reason, he was still talking and moving around. And then he got up and walked and picked up Elisa. I was just all like, what? No! 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 Human bodies remain the same throughout. I don't care. I know this is a fantasy series, but he's not immortal, okay? We know he's not immortal. We also know that he doesn't have regenerating powers or anything like that, alright? That chopped his spinal cord. Lenka should not be moving. Lenka should be dead. Don't forget the blood loss, alright? Just... Okay. Had to get that out. I had to. Whew. Okay, so. Other stuff with God Eater. You see, one main problem that I always had with God Eater was how quiet it is and its soundtrack. You see, how episodes with God Eater work out when it comes to sound-wise is that basically nothing plays in the background. And there's only one song, literally one song in every episode that they actually make known that you can totally hear, that serves somewhat of a purpose and make the scene even more meaningful and more impactful and things like that. That's what God Eater has been doing with their soundtrack. So I've always kind of had a problem with that because it made the episode seem slower and a lot more quiet since, you know, the characters don't even talk that much themselves since a lot of the time they just have these awkward pauses when they speak. So, but with this episode, they actually fixed it with the sound. The sound was way better. They had a soundtrack playing throughout the episode, except for a couple of times, that's fine. Music doesn't have to play completely throughout the entire episode. You just need about a couple of songs here and there, you know, to set the mood. And so that's what this episode did. So I'm happy with that. It picked up with its soundtrack, alright? And characters still had those awkward pauses, but, you know, it was fine since we still had background music, so it wasn't completely empty like it always is, okay? So we get to see that Elisa has some sort of trauma with Aragami, okay? And then she took these pills thingies, and that was odd. It was like, oh, okay, you're just gonna crunch down on the pills? Okay, so that's what she did. Alright, and then we have it ending with Lenka and Elisa, you know, falling down to their deaths. Okay. Yeah, and then, you know, we have the scientists at the end with their discovery of that single cell, which, you know, is the origins and stuff of the Aragami and how they're evolving. They're seeing them at different parts of the world. That's interesting, actually. I didn't think that Aragami was all over the world. I thought it was just Japan. I thought it was just over there. So that's interesting to know. Yep, that's really all I gotta say. To be honest, there's a lot of good anime out this summer season. There really is. But God Eater is the one that I never look forward to at all, mainly because it's boring, mainly because of how it's silent, which is why it makes it boring. But, you know, like I said, they fixed that this episode. They fixed it. But I'll still stick with God Eater because I've never seen a Ufotable series before, so I still want to stick through it. But I'm letting you all know, I never look forward to it, and it's really boring, okay? Yep, that's all I gotta say. So, catch me later as I review a way more exciting series, Gangsta. I'm your female otaku, sayonara.